Hello everyone, hope you're having a great start to your week. This is Jim. Happy Monday. I know that several of you have been dealing with illnesses, so I hope you're all on the mend and recovering. I had my own bug this last week, but am feeling better today, so I hope you are as well. Really enjoyed grading your papers this weekend. Some really interesting arguments on rising institutional costs. Many of you did a great job of identifying surface issues, rising prices, more administrators, rising student debt. Others among you did a better job of digging deeper. What are the things that are leading to these rising prices and the increasing numbers of administrators? And what you find, of course, is that in large part, those prices have gone up because of the wide availability of federal student loans and students choosing institutions which offer them more. When I was a student, perhaps when some of you were students, our cafeteria had very, very few choices. One choice, as a matter of fact, for most meals. But today we have many choices. Many universities and colleges have several restaurants within their institutions. Here at Concordia College, New York, a fairly small institution, multiple choices at lunch and at dinner, and a sushi bar. Why? Because students demand it. And if we don't offer it, they'll go somewhere else and they will spend their student loan dollars doing that at another institution that offers it. What about administrators? Well, that's one thing I can speak to with from a very personal perspective. I can tell you that the rise in the number of administrators has almost everything to do with federal and state regulations. Just about everything I do and my shop does, in fact, most of what happens out of the provost office has to go at some point through an accrediting body or maybe multiple accrediting bodies. It also has to go through New York State Department of Education. It also has to go through oftentimes the Federal Department of Education because of their oversight of Title IV student loans. And what does that mean on our campus? It means multiple administrators dealing with compliance, attorneys, compliance officers, assessment people, and more. It's a very expensive cost of doing business, and it's been getting more and more expensive. So for today's assignment, you've been asked to take a look at Batson's 4 motivations for acting in the public good. And we've asked you to apply your own personal ethical framework to the workplace in a way that is related to finance. Let me share with you my own. It might help give you some guidance as you frame this. I personally believe that in broader politics, as in our own institutions, it is unethical to borrow against tomorrow to pay for today. It's easy for politicians to do it. It's easy in an institution of higher education to do it. Now, we do that in many ways. Deferred maintenance, straight up borrowing, even underpaying people, knowing that the gap in pay is going to have to be made up at a different day, or even taking upfront payment from vendors. That's a very common practice. A vendor will pay you today a big lump sum in exchange for a long-term contract. And what you're really doing is you're robbing tomorrow's institution of revenues to pay for today. All of these steal from tomorrow to pay for today, which is something I consider highly unethical. So I look forward to you articulating your own ethical framework, applying it to the area of finance, and sharing with the group. Make sure it's supported, and I'll look forward to reading it. Have a great start to your week. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can find me online by email or at jim.burkee on Skype. God bless your week.